Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Cruisin the Planet, At Home Edition, Part 3?
I think it's 4.
4. Nice. This week, we are joined solely by AJ, who's
Hello.
he's at his home office,
My
interviewing
home
via,
studio.
home recording studio via mobile device, which is perfectly acceptable because the whole point is that we need to see everybody and hear them at the same time.
Even if it's not perfect.
No, nothing is perfect right now, but then again, this is all what we have, and so we're going to continue making a show based off of the resources that are available to us.
And it's kind of cool because I can kind of show off our living room, me and my roommate's living room, but we can do that after you begin announcements.
Oh, that's all right. The main announcements is that we are, let me see, my notes aren't loading. It's fine. Do not be alarmed. The main announcement is that all of our shows are going to begin spinning back up, and so we are going to have new episodes of not only this show, as you already know, we are going to have episodes of Making Space and I just lost it. Planetary Overload. How convenient of me to forget
My
your
show.
Yes, AJ's show. As many of y'all know, we'll have Making Space, we'll have Planetary Overload. Cogli and Morrow, I believe, is still continuing. They're working on a bit of a home studio solution for them for a little more quality situation there. And then off of that, we have T for Texas, which was all little fourth wall break here, peek behind the curtain. It was all pre-recorded, which means that those are continuing as is. They're the little Texas history bits that we release every Thursday.
They were recorded. We have like 4 years of audio for that.
I think we're on folder D now, so our year D on the folder. So I think this is it's been 4 years since they got recorded.
Yeah, it's about to rotate back.
Yeah, which means we're coming up on the 4th year of those were recorded so long ago. And the history is even older. But let's move into this week. So, AJ, you were not on last week's episode.
Oh, yeah.
Which works great because this week I want to talk about catching up, and not only catching up on us all here, but all the viewers at home. I want to throw the question out to everyone early on so they can get us a response in one way or another through those social media links, wherever you can get us. I want to know, what have you been doing for the last month in your free time? Because we still have work in one sense or another, but there's this sort of secondary part, past school, obviously, of we have free time now. Some of us have ample amounts of free time, but what is being done with it? You can go ahead and start if you want, or I can start. It's up to you.
I am just about ready to show off what I want to show off today. Because there's other things that you can be doing in your free time. Mm-hmm. And if you're handy with a saw and a screwdriver, you can do something like this.
Is it the table?
So it's the table.
Oh my goodness.
So I got some games set up, and so basically what this is what is known as a board game table. It is very similar to what you'd find at a poker table mixed with a pool table. So it's got like a lip that would be to keep stuff from falling off, but it's also got card like felt stuff you'd find on the poker table.
That is nice.
This is my roommate made this. He's a very talented carpenter, and I got some of our games that we own: Sheriff from Nottingham Classic, Munchkin Deluxe, one of the best, Axis and Allies and Zombies, Boss Monster, which is something I got for Christmas.
That was on the Christmas episode.
Yes, Magic the Gathering cards. We own too many. I think there's a couple long boxes around here.
Everyone who plays the game owns too many. I can attest to that.
Another zombie-themed game, Zombie Dice, which is a lot of fun. And then my D&D Player's Handbook back there.
Gnarly.
So this is really easy.
So it's finished, though?
I mean, touch-up, like, finish-wise, is it usable? Yes. I think my favorite part is, so D&D, you want to be able to have full use of your arms on the table. So this right here actually attaches.
Oh Lord.
And then what you would do is you would take your DM screen, which if you're familiar, is just something that blocks
Yeah,
your.
it's a walled binder. I'm going to describe the table for the podcast listeners here. What AJ has been showing us off is a sort of, I'm going to say 4x8 large table covered in felt and with removable sidewalls. The middle of it dips down lower to sort of hold your board games things, and then the shelving or the sort of the ledge
Yeah.
room, that border can be lifted off and removed for extra space and extra usability. It
Yep.
is it has power cables attached off the top of it.
Which
It has
if
shelving
you're
space
kind
below.
of new to doing stuff like this, that can be kind of difficult to get right, but it's very fun. But continue.
Yeah. As you heard, AJ is an avid board game and card game player. He's got showing off his collection Munchkin, Axis and Allies. His boss. What was the one you got at Christmas?
Boss Monster
There we go.
Dungeon
Yeah,
Building Board Game
Boss
and Boss
Monster,
Monster The Next Level.
which you can see AJ unbox in the episode after the Christmas party. We've some of his Magic the Gathering and D&D stuff, which we know AJ plays. If you're following the sort of radio station canon that we've been building here, you can listen to his podcast, Planetary Overload, where he talks about trading card games or role-playing games. You've made them separate, tabletop role-playing games?
No, just tabletop role-playing games. We didn't make them separate.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. It is. We weren't talking about board games. We were talking about tabletop RPGs, which is an RPG that's like it's on the tabletop.
Right.
The difference being, for those who don't know, you can have RPGs that are like in person. So if you think of those like Civil War reenactments, those would be one of those. So.
Or the very memed on LARPers, live action role players.
Right. So.
Poor people.
But as I was saying, that's a good, like, if you like building with wood, Ethan, I want you to guess how much money we paid to build this thing.
$120.
$0.
No, come on.
We use scrap wood from our local Hayden works at an opera house, so he builds sets, and we just use the scrap from those sets.
Nice.
So, I mean, really, all you're doing is you're building a table and adding walls to it. So,
right. Well, it's a very nice table.
It needs a little bit of work, but but that costs money right now, so.
You already said that it's not finished. So far, it's very nice. The bones are going to produce a beautiful body. That's what you've been working on in your free time, or that's just what like the house has been working on?
Well, that was built before all of this happened. We have been just using it, is what I'm saying.
Oh. Well, in that case, relay us with your quote-unquote extended weekends for this last month.
Oh, man. It's actually been pretty tough because most of my time has either been spent doing schoolwork or working or in bed because I've been getting migraines almost daily. Mm-hmm. So, but when I'm able to, I bought a new game called Squad, which is a PC game that is a realistic shooter. It is a son of like a military simulator, and it is essentially based off of trying to be as communicative with your team and squad as much as you can, and you're given helicopters, tanks, a wide array of classes to choose from that all fulfill a specific goal. So, like, if the rifleman is the base class, and the reason you'd use them is because they can build. They're used for building and suppression, and basically your grunt of the squad. And then you can go up all the way to like heavy AT, which is designed to destroy tanks. So
Okay. So the main focus of the game is to be playing one of these many multi-class characters, or sort of like a Total War situation, like you'd recommended to us a
you
couple of weeks
you
ago.
take it's like Call of Duty. I mean, a lot of people know
Okay,
about Call of Duty.
got it.
You are one of
First
these
person.
classes. Yeah, first person. And I'd say like a much more modern clash between Battlefield and Arma. So not as complicated as Arma, but not as basic as Battlefield.
Okay, I see. So it's not like Arma is full simulation. You're
Oh,
operating everything like to a script. Battlefield is you've dropped everyone in, just say go. You have sort of a mix between them of like a more
yeah,
structured simulation that still has the ability to be a played game.
for sure. It
Okay.
makes it much more approachable to a person who's maybe not as skilled in military simulation,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't scare them away like with Arma, which has like 152 different keys that you can press and they all do different
Right.
things.
They all kill something different at different range.
Oh, or just like this brings up your targeting camera, but this one targets when the targeting camera's on, but doesn't do that when the targeting camera's off. Like,
Right. This one you have to bind yourself.
yeah,
Got it.
this one switches between the 50 different radio channels you can be on. It's its
Mm-hmm.
whole mess, and I found that it's very active right now, which isn't surprising. Most games are active right now,
Yes, a
even
lot of
the
online
more.
games.
Yeah, but the community isn't toxic. There is no like sense of elitism at all.
Nice.
So
None of those
uh
gatekeepers that Jake's so fond of.
oh my gosh. But it has been a it's been pretty fun. But like I said, my ability to play games right now has been limited by my ability to look at the screen for not very long periods of time.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's sort of an interesting side effect that I guess we didn't really think about was schoolwork is now all online, and now
Hmm.
work is online as much as possible. So we're spending a lot more time in front of screens than we had ever done
Yeah.
before. And these like miniature side effects that we just sort of took for granted are the main problems.
Yep. And it used to be, we are on the computer a lot at work,
Mm-hmm.
but we weren't always on the computer. We were talking to each other. We were trying to plan things out. Sometimes we were on
Right.
air. It wasn't 100% on the computer. And
Mm-hmm.
then school, you're not on the computer at all, at least for
Whatsoever.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because you're a music, right? A music
yeah,
major.
yeah. So a lot of lecture type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on the computer. Everything's at an instrument or just having a professor lecture to you. And sorry, I got the windows up. It's a very nice day out today.
Mm.
It's like
It is.
60
It has
degrees,
cooled off finally.
right?
Yeah.
A bit too cold for my taste over the last couple days, but today's perfect. So
Mm-hmm. Which means
I
tomorrow it'll
got
be
some
too hot.
flies coming in. Yeah, I should agree with that statement. Oh my gosh, but man, I've been making some new. Just trying to think. Sorry.
You're fine.
Uh, I made a new commander deck. I know not everyone will understand this, but based around Tristani, which
Perfectly
is
fine.
just uh, which
That's
is
the which
very,
colors
very
again?
fun. Selesnya, so green and white.
Okay. Ah, the life gain strategy.
Yep, life gain and populate.
I
And
see.
if you guys don't know what that means,
Oh,
I suggest you look at our card TCG card game episode for Planetary Overload and learn
I
about
have
some card games.
I have played against the Tristani populate list multiple times. Um, it just
Oh, it's
makes
so
so many big
disgusting.
things.
Uh, I I was playing it yesterday against my roommate, and
Mhm.
I did a Soul Foundry, which is you play it down, exile a creature from your hand, and then you can create tokens of that creature
Right.
on a Wayfarer's Temple, which gains life and toughness based off how many creatures on the battlefield.
You
and
didn't.
because it was a token, and I had the enchantment that populated every turn. So I went from a 1/1 one turn to an 8/8 the next turn, 8/8/8 the next turn. It was
That's
disgusting.
that's disgusting. That's quite honestly awful. If anyone's worried, anyone's curious why 8/8 is such a dangerous number, is because you only have 40 life in the game. So hitting somebody with 4 10/10s is all you need to win. And
Yep,
he had 8/8s, which is 64 damage.
yep. It was awesome seeing that deck perform like that.
Because everything's lethal if left alone.
Yep, yep. And
What a dangerous
it
build.
it always sucks because my roommate only plays a blue. Insert other colors here, so it's every single one of his decks are littered with counter spells.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't notice the power that would come out of that.
Ooh, that's upsetting.
But
So,
like I said,
a lot of video games.
Video games and Magic the Gathering,
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting into more board games too. But board games can be expensive. I mean,
Oh,
really.
yeah. If you let them build up, they certainly can.
Yeah,
Quick
but
question for you. Would you say that you're having a relaxing time at home?
no,
No. Do you want to get
not at
into that?
all. Yeah, no. As many of the viewers may know, I'm a piano player. That's where my other income came from, and I lost all those because you can't have gatherings and restaurants are all closed right now. At least the
Dining.
dining rooms are. Yeah, which is
Mhm.
where I used to play piano. So that happened, and obviously I'm a senior, so I'm graduating in a couple weeks, which means I have all this senior level class. My senior project happened. I passed that. That's going to
That's good.
be up and available to watch. It's a 40-minute video, fully edited, fully produced.
Is
It's
this
kind of like a
is this the album
my
that you had been working on?
yes. So this is the research and kind of the explanation of the album and its release,
Nice.
and some music marketing techniques I used and everything.
Where could people find that?
So you can find so there is a question of copyright. So I made a mistake because I'm not a video guy person. I made a
Yeah.
mistake that I thought I was doing this for a senior project and I wasn't going to be making money off of this. That I could just use any pictures I found off of Google images. Um,
AJ.
I mean, I don't make videos like this all the time, man. So I used all those and that was fine, but the music department was kind of iffy about just posting the entire thing with that in there. So uh, the the part that will be publicly available will be the part where I describe the music and why I made what I did, basically.
And that
Which is
is
that will be released next week or the week
okay.
after on Monday. So, and that will be on the Tarleton Copa Facebook page, hopefully.
All right, nice.
Details to come later.
Well,
Eventually, the full video will be on my own YouTube page. So,
and as soon as it does, we'll be certain to link it so that everyone can enjoy what you made. I was given a tiny preview, the song that had the multiple voices effects going on.
right,
That was
right.
what you had shown me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's immaculate. This man knows what he's doing, and he's doing it well.
And it's all available on Spotify. So all you have to do is search AJ Plays Piano. So find it there.
AJ plays piano. That's the whole thing. So you made it an electric release?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. If you any sort of streaming music, any sort of streaming service, anywhere where you can buy music, it's probably there. So
Gnarly. Does it have a
AJ
special
Plays
name
Piano.
to go by? If they wanted to
The album itself.
Yes.
The album itself is called Dissociative.
Dissociative.
So yeah. So if you know how to spell dissociate, just add a tiv the end of that.
Right.
So if they want to look, it's on Amazon Music, it's on iTunes if they want to buy it. And you can also search it up on the CD Baby store and actually get a physical mail to you if you'd like.
But you only have so many of those, right?
No. The CD Baby one, they print them to demand.
Okay,
I sell my own at gigs
got it.
when they
Which don't
existed.
exist right now.
So yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, man, all this stuff has just been piling on, and just COVID-19 on top of that just like
Right.
blew it over the top. Nothing is easy right now, but I'll make
100%.
it. Got a
Well,
new weekend job.
oh, do tell.
There is a power plant at the edge of Granbury and Glenrose that parents knew somebody that knew somebody, you know, that sort of deal.
Right.
And basically from
Friend of a
6
friend.
a.m. to 10 a.m., yeah, of a friend. Basically from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., I'm going to be in the guardhouse checking people in. But it's like $17 an hour.
For 4
So,
hours, that's good.
yeah, I couldn't say no to that.
It's more than I've
Um,
ever made.
and considering the job market right now and how no one's really hiring, if that can
Definitely.
turn into a full-time job later, I'll take it for now.
Certainly. Yeah, especially whenever they're able to open hours back up and then they'll need you to be there full time. And it sounds like you work,
Yeah, or
it sounds like you'd be in from 6 to 10, probably take a 4 hour break and then be back to check everyone out from, what would that be? 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the other side?
something like that. I'm unsure of the details. I start this weekend, so uh, it'll be interesting.
Well, good
But
luck to
having
you on
another
that.
source of income right now is pretty. Well, how have you been, man? What have you been up to other than being alone in the radio station?
I am going crazy at the radio station. I am this close. So the way that it's working at the station right now is I work all of Monday, Jake works all of Tuesday. Jake works Monday morning, I work Wednesday evening, and then I work
Okay.
all of Thursday, Jake works all of Friday. So we have no chance of seeing each other because there'll be like on Wednesday there's at least a 2 hour gap where we'll switch out, right?
Right.
So what will end up happening is I haven't seen Jake in weeks. Okay. But I see Lance mostly every day. He's going to start pulling back even more to go to some online work for safety, for like work safety reasons. So there's going to
For
be a few
sure.
days where I get completely by myself. I don't know if I'm going to, at that point, start leaving sticky notes for people, like, and let them build up, or if I want to go to audio logs. But we're getting real close. And like, I'm not actually going to go crazy on air because that would cause so many problems for so many other people. But I do want when you guys to come, like, unseal the door and kick everything back into gear. You find just a million notes or voice memos and emails from me, like, about little things, stuff like that. Just like he always keeping everyone up to date about the crazies. Or third
To be fair,
option,
you were going crazy before, but this has just exacerbated it.
this is like a crazy that everyone is able to see. The first level of crazy was everyone saw, like, within the station. So you gave me a camera and like a little outlet, which was our YouTube. Um, that can't happen anymore because I need people to film and no one's here, and no one wants to just see me all the time. I need guests for my shows to work.
Nothing
So
works this way.
right.
You know what we could do? We could get people to film off their phones at home and kind of do found footage type stuff.
I've been thinking about some sort. Actually, Lance talked to me the other day, and we are looking at 2 video ideas for me to start producing. One of which is like an actually helpful and beneficial, like, fun, wash your hands thing, stay 6 feet away from people, stuff like that. Like a good little PSA in
Right.
video format. The last one is just a full comedic video where Alien secretly, like, makes his way to every one of our houses to, like, check in on us. I don't want to give too much away on that one because it might require a lot more production than we think. But I have gotten the okay on both of those, so that might be my secondary thing here other than doing the news constantly. Because I now do morning shows and evening shows, 5 shows a week. getting a lot of
Mm.
hosting done.
And then no, that's I never really enjoyed being on air that much. I mean, I like doing my rock show, but NPR shows I always felt like I would stumble in those, and that's a very professional format.
Yeah,
Um,
I have made a
I
few
don't.
stumbles. I've made just enough so that Lance told me, "Hey, when you do stumble, don't laugh at it. Just redo what you're saying." And I was like, "Uh-oh, it's obvious." You know, you'll be talking
it
something about a script. You'll be like, "And that'll later in the evening we'll be talking about the." One sec. Later in the evening we'll be talking about where to pick up food. And it's
yeah
like, don't do the laugh. Just re-say what you're doing and then turn off the mic, Ethan.
the I've been told that the best thing you can do is not to acknowledge the mistake. It's to just fix it and then move on.
Yeah,
Because as soon as you acknowledge the mistake, the people who weren't like too tuned in
right.
won't notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if
No
someone's
one's
driving home from
really
a
paying
long day at
attention
work.
to you.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant like if someone's like,
No,
you
I
know
get
the
it.
feeling, you're driving home from a long day of work, you're listening to the radio,
No,
you're
I
not
understand.
too tuned. You're just kind of intaking information.
Yeah.
Much like when you binge watch Netflix, you're not actually learning anything about the plot or dissecting anything. You're just
Hmm.
enjoying your time, which is what we are, entertainment. So
Right. Yeah, we are an infotainment at some degree. A lot. We've
yeah,
actually changed a lot of the format while COVID-19 has been going on, and behind the scenes again. Pull back that curtain. I just like pointing it out. We have a whole document that everyone has been assigned at local town. This is for the viewers now. Everyone, we have a document, and
yep.
everyone in town has been assigned a couple of other towns and areas within Erath County, which is where Stephenville and stuff is stationed. You're all students here, I
Oh, and the
assume,
cross timbers,
and the
like
Cross Timbers region.
we, yep.
To just inform people about places for food pickup, food delivery, or if someone needs help with groceries, what are the hours that you can go and get purchase items at certain stores. And on our Twitter, actually, we've started up a new hashtag called Dine Out Stephenville. This has been taken up by station events coordinator Erin Farmer. She's the one person that hasn't been on anything because every time I ask her, she says she doesn't want to. But I'm calling you out now, Erin. She has been very graciously contacting every restaurant in Stephenville and asking their hours of operation along with their their dine out options for menus and stuff like that. And then there's that special going on with DoorDash, which is every Saturday you get for the next 2 weeks, I think, because they set it up to be for a month. Um,
Yep.
DoorDash is now free delivery for the next 2 Saturdays at minimum.
It is
Very nice.
very useful. It is very nice.
All information
I've
over here.
definitely used that. Aaron is definitely a bit camera shy and mic shy.
Yeah,
Getting her to record PSAs and liners is hard too. So, but
that's just
she's
Erin.
she does wonderful work. She does wonderful work when
That's
she's
the
there.
problem. She's so good at it. She's so good at like doing voiceovers or being on camera, but she just doesn't want to, and it blows me away because I'm really bad at it, but I want to be on camera. Obviously, I want to be on camera. I have a show that involves camera, but that's just that
Yeah.
the talent that
I do have to say, like, switching to online only for my part of the job has been extremely frustrating sometimes because much like yours, you're required to have someone like I can't record everything myself. That would be boring
right.
for listeners just to hear my voice all the time. It just so happens uh like a behind the scenes thing. Every audio director at the station, this happens to every audio director at the station. We just over voice things.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is to be like you have to be careful of what you voice and what you don't, because if you do too much, then you're on the air too much basically, and people are gonna get sick of your voice. But unless you
And
just
they're
have
not even
that
sick of your voice; they've just heard you too many times in the last
right.
hour and a half.
Yeah. So like trying to get people, well, they're they're still doing, you're still in school. Like you're still in school. Cole's still in school.
Right.
Aaron's still in school.
Still working.
You're still working to try and kind of like, it used to be we just were all in the lobby, and I would just come out and be like, "Who wants to voice a PSA?" And then people would raise their hands, and I
You would
grab
just
them and
point at
drag them out.
someone and steal them away for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
It's a simpler time.
and now I gotta message them, and then I have to wait, and I have to wait for them to message me back or get me the recording. And sometimes that can just be like, and I'm not calling anybody out. Everyone's been wonderful. Everyone's been doing great. It's just the frustration of the process that has been put upon us all. It's been frustrating.
Right? And I'm certain students can follow through some sort of catharsis here of like, I have a question based on this assignment. So I send them an email. And now I just sit and wait. Because at any point that email could come back. So I'm not doing anything, but I'm also not like done with my assignments on any of that. Or even if you're at work and your work is based on meetings or coordination of that level, it's like there is no more set hours to be working on something. So now all of your hours are expected to be working on something. And we've lost this level of like the 9 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I'm not getting sick. Like, honestly, this thing, some people, they keep on saying it's just the flu. It is nasty. Like, it is not a fun time from what I've heard.
Even if it is just the flu is still nasty, like not fun. The flu,
it's a flu that can be worse than the flu.
Well, this is my biggest take on it that everyone has been saying of like, oh, it's just the flu. And it's like, yeah, it is a flu. That's bad. Like, the flu is still bad. The flu still has a large mortality rate. The flu still causes like whole classrooms to be shut down on the regular. We're just used to dealing with the flu. This one is a flu that no one's seen before. And saying it's a flu
on steroids.
Saying it's the flu is technically incorrect as well, using some base math. I don't want to get too far into this one because it just becomes depressing, but the flu infects about one other person, and you know that you're sick about 2 days in to having it. COVID-19 infects on average 2 other people, and you don't know you have it until max 14 days. That's a whole different ballgame altogether. It's not the flu. It is an influenza version because it has those symptoms. It's a totally different thing.
Right. And
not underestimate it.
And
that's why we shut everything down in the world.
The reason I'm saying this, is because I've seen a lot of people out and about, not wearing masks, not taking CDC guidelines.
Right.
Even though you are young, even though you're probably a college student listening to this, because our biggest audience is going to be college students. I've seen some, like, most people look at the death rate. I wouldn't look at the death rate. I look at the hospitalization rate, because like, even if you're 18, 20, your hospitalization rate is still going to be around like 30% of the time. Because what happens is you just get a head cold or the flu first, and then 3 days later you feel fine, and then a day later it comes back full force and you can't breathe, and it's nasty. So please listen to CDC. Please stay indoors. Don't go out as much. Don't
overdo it. Right? Don't lock yourself into your house and begin panic. But also, don't be out and about with all of your friends. The idea is, the biggest idea here is everybody stays home for 2 to 3 weeks. Then because everyone followed the rules and nobody went anywhere, we now know all of the cases. It's not going to spread any farther. So those people can go to hospital, be protected, and it's done. And we're done with it, and it's all over.
Yeah.
Every time you break out, more people break out and like go see their friends, go check on other people, stuff like that, socialize. Every single chance is another instance of causing problems and extending the overall quarantine. It's kind of the bad egg situation of like one bad egg ruins a carton. The problem is that we're all now in the same carton. And so.
No, I would equate it to we're all in different cartons, but we're bad eggs that can move.
Right, yeah, it's the shuffling eggs. They're dancing around everywhere. Oh, goodness.
No,
That's it, though.
It's safe. Yeah.
That's
It's
all the negative we're talking on this show.
just had to get that out of my system.
It's all
You
right.
probably heard it already.
I understand, and it feels doubly. You feel like you need to talk about it double so just because of the lack of interaction that
Oh
we're
my
having.
gosh, right?
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are turning on roommates.
Yeah.
Raids are going
It's
all over the place. No, it's been rather quiet actually over on this end.
yeah. It it has been like speaking of the town. I don't. You probably noticed this being on campus and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Eerily, it is like scary. Like we all watch apocalypse movies or stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see like the empty streets and empty stores, and
Yeah,
it just seeing that is just eerie. And I'm sure on campus it's oh so eerie.
I love it personally.
I know, but you're the horror addict.
But then I realized, like, that means that no one else is having fun. Dang it! Of like, cool. So a couple of cool things happened. I got a parking ticket a while ago, like right the week after the second week of spring break. You remember that
Right.
one? So I got a
Yeah.
parking ticket because I was in a blue lot, and I was like, I'm at work. Like, there's no one else here. The next day, they said, we rescind your ticket. Don't worry, this one's on us. And the day right after that, they were like, park anywhere you want. There's no more limit. We give up. So it's really nice because I can park right outside the station now. I don't have to be all the way in the back purple lots. So finally, we got what we wanted. They fixed parking at the cost of everything. So that's nice. Secondary thing, however, is when I get off of Montana's, because I work at a restaurant for anyone who's new to the show, and we close our kitchen down at around 10 or like 9 p.m. and then we start cleaning the whole thing, and we're out of there about around 10 o'clock. I'm used to like going and getting a snack right before I finish up for the day because I've been working. Like, yes, I've been working in the kitchen, but you're not able to like just start eating the food in there. That's not how working in a kitchen works.
As someone who has also worked in a kitchen, that will get you in trouble. Don't do that.
Trouble you're getting real hot water real fast. But so I'm like hungry after work, like a normal adult. Okay, like I've just got done working a standard 6-hour shift, so I want some food because I've been standing cooking and I've been around food the whole time, man. And I can't go to like a gas station anymore to get something. Everything's closed down at 6 p.m. Everything's under lock and key. Like the best I can do is like find a gas station that's got like candy bars, and I'm not trying to do that, dude. I'm trying to walk out of this into my summer body, not out of my summer body.
I mean, have you seen this physique? Dude, this has been terrible on my health being in here. Like,
I've started doing like workouts that don't require a gym, and those have been helping because it causes me to like a routine of I get sore one day and then I'm not sore the next. So that's nice.
That's another thing you can do. I've been trying to do body workouts. Like, for anybody who doesn't know,
I'm gonna look it up.
Keep going. My dad was in the NFL, and he had a teammate. I think it was on the Vikings, who never set foot into the gym. He did an obscene amount of body workouts, so like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and stuff. So never. And found in the name?
I'm looking for it. There's a special name, starts with like a C. Calisthenics. If you can figure out how, I realize now that doesn't help anybody. If you can figure out how to spell the word calisthenics off of an audio and or video podcast, good job. I personally have been in like, I've known about the sort of calisthenics thing for a long time. My dad used to be a gymnast. He was really close to going state back in Montana University before he got scarlet fever, which is pretty intense, I find, come to find out. That was back when he was like in high school.
Oh my gosh.
So it's nothing new, but it was just like, we've been like, my family has been on the pretty, my mother did kickboxing for a long time. So my family's pretty active. I was a catcher in baseball, and that's a lot of squats and stuff. But all of our workouts were gym based. You know, a gymnast has gym in the name. So it kind of like gave you an idea of what to do. And so I've been on the scene of calisthenics for a while because didn't have a gym membership, but needed to find something out. The biggest issue I've had now is like I get sweaty in my own room, and then I like sit there, and my room's all hot and stinky, and it's like, man, now I got a hot and stinky room for the next like hour while it starts to air out. Because I live in an
I
apartment.
have noticed that. I have noticed that the more that you are home, the more that your house will stink up if you're not careful.
Right. It is spring cleaning,
just being
so
human.
right. It is spring cleaning, so
That's
maybe
a
we
good
could get some
idea.
sort of like thing. Maybe this will be it, though. Actually, I've had a secret dream for a long time, AJ, and I need you to go with me for this last little segment of the show. Do you think this is going to that COVID's going to last long enough to finally kill the garage sale?
Oh man.
Can we do it?
Yes. The
Finally.
reason being is because there have been multiple statistics, or what are they called, models, that unless we get because we can make vaccines relatively easy for the flu because we can guess it, right? Just based off of evolution, like models and everything.
And we know
like
it's
that.
a flu.
Yeah. So we're not, like, as a human race, like, we're not unfamiliar with making vaccines for viruses. Think about the measles virus and stuff like that. And so it is coming, and we'll get it eventually. But depending on the speed of that, we can be seeing like social distancing guidelines being in place for a year to 3 years.
Well, I think the 3-year model had the idea of we were going to go back and forth of multiple outbreaks, sort of statewide situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in this for not super long, but it's going to be longer than everyone hopes, which is interesting, to say the least. So we're getting rid of, what was it, garage sales. Those ones are dead. What does everyone have to do with all of their junk now?
I think it's okay. Let me rephrase. I don't think the garage sale itself will be dead. I think it will evolve. Much like how radio. Have you ever heard of garage sale sites?
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So this has been a very popular thing in recent years. Like, I didn't even learn about this till I moved to Texas, like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. It is a Facebook page. It is a specific site for a community. So Erath County has Erath County sales, or I don't know the exact page. You can find it if you just look up garage sale Erath County. Yeah. And it's essentially just online junk. Like, you just put it online, which actually, I think in theory, people will stick to, because it's much easier just to find what you need. Because in garage sale, obviously the charm of it, if you can call it charming, is you could browse and find secret things. Yeah. I mean,
and like obviously scam somebody out of an heirloom. That was don't even like lie to yourself or to me or to the audience. The entire goal that every one of those grandmothers was rifling through everyone else's junk is because they 100% were going to find $100 bill stashed in something.
You know what the worst thing I ever saw was? Someone, this is a while ago, but someone had found a Black Lotus, like a beta Black Lotus, at a garage sale. Yeah. And it was just, and it was sad because the person who was collecting it had died, and they were just trying to get rid of their stuff out of the room. And they sold it for like $3 or something like that. Like, they sold an entire collection of cards for $3 with Power 9 in it. Ooh. I mean, I don't blame anybody for not knowing for audience's sake. A Black Lotus can cost anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, it's a piece of Magic the Gathering history at this point. It's one of the most expensive trading cards or tradable cards that can ever exist. My biggest thing was like the art community, learning about how much a painting really went for. was the biggest deal, so I always tried to find my way up to like Flower Mound or something when my mom said, let's go garage sailing. And I was like, yeah. But then again, at that time, I didn't have any cash. So I just kind of like
Yep.
watched. But it is something fun to do
Disposable
when
income.
you're poor.
Yeah. Disposable income is very interesting. Like learning how to manage it correctly and not letting it your entire income become disposable.
Right?
That's when you get into issues.
Oh,
Like
100%.
but yeah, but now we're just going on tangent. I think that was supposed to be our final bit, wasn't it?
I mean, this whole show is tangential. Unless you have somewhere to be, then we can very easily wrap things up here.
I actually need to get going, so.
All right. Well, AJ, thank you for coming on the show. It was a delight and a pleasure, and I'm so glad you're able to make it this week.
Yeah, man. I miss seeing y'all, so.
All right. No, definitely. It is good seeing you, actually, to like be able to check up
Yeah.
on you and such. Just checking in on Lance every couple of days has been like beneficial for both of us. We've said we're all gonna walk out of this with a newfound respect of personal connectivity.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the culture changes after this.
It'll be interesting, 100%.
If it changes.
Right, that has been some of the agreements. Is like as soon as this is over, right back to the beginning. Well, I
honestly don't think that will happen. But
you got anything else you want to? You got anything else you want to play, AJ? Or are you good for today?
Stay safe. Wash your hands.
There we go. Stay safe, everybody. Wash your hands. This has been your episode of Cruisin the Planet. That was AJ Heyer here from the radio station, working from home. We were going to catch all of y'all next week. Thank you very much.